You wake up and the day looks fine. The weather is okay, you slept, there is coffee, nothing is technically wrong. But then your phone buzzes, someone wants to meet, a group chat is blowing up. There is a social obligation you forgot about. And something inside you, not sadness, not depression, just a quiet but unmistakable resistance, tightens. You do not want to be around people today, and you feel guilty about that. Because life is supposed to be about connection, because wanting to be alone must mean something is wrong with you. But here is what nobody is saying clearly enough. There is a difference between being tired of life and being tired of people. One is a clinical concern. The other is a completely valid, scientifically documented response to a specific kind of depletion. Today we are going through 7 signs that what you are experiencing is not a problem with you or with life. It is a problem with the amount and quality of the people you have been giving your energy to. Sign 1. Social interaction leaves you more drained than rested. You spend time with people, and afterward, you feel worse than before. Not because anything bad happened, just depleted, like something was taken out of you that you now need to recover. This is social exhaustion, a documented neurological phenomenon that occurs when the demands of social interaction consistently exceed the resources available to meet them. Every interaction requires cognitive and emotional labor, reading expressions, managing your presentation, tracking conversation dynamics. When this labor consistently produces depletion rather than restoration, your nervous system is telling you something precise. The social diet you are currently on is costing more than it is providing. The solution is not more socializing, it is better socializing. Sign 2. You feel lonely in groups but fine alone, surrounded by people. And profoundly, inexplicably alone, not alone because nobody is there. Alone because nobody is actually seeing you. The conversation never reaches the depth where you actually live. Researchers distinguish between social loneliness, the absence of people, and existential loneliness, the feeling of being unseen despite being surrounded. People who feel fine alone but lonely in groups are experiencing the second kind. And the reason matters, they are not in the wrong, the groups are insufficient. They have a genuine capacity for deep connection. They are simply not in environments where that connection is available. Sign 3. You have started dreading things you used to enjoy. There was a time when a gathering, a catch-up, a social event felt energizing. Something to look forward to, now it feels like something to get through. When previously enjoyable social activities begin to feel like obligations, this is the result of accumulated social debt. When you have been giving social energy for extended periods without genuine restoration, the system that generates social enthusiasm simply runs out of fuel. It is not depression, it is depletion with a specific cause. The enthusiasm will return, but not through forcing more engagement. Through rest, selectivity, and honest assessment of which relationships are filling you and which are only emptying you. Sign 4. You are increasingly sensitive to fake or shallow behavior. Something has shifted in your tolerance for performance. The colleague who is enthusiastic to your face and indifferent behind your back. The friend who reaches out only when they need something. The social dynamic built entirely on mutual pretending. You used to navigate this without friction, now it sets off something in you. Psychologists describe this as authenticity hunger, the state that develops when a person's need for genuine connection goes unmet for extended periods. In this state, the gap between performed connection and real connection becomes unbearable. You are not becoming less tolerant of people, you are becoming less tolerant of substitutes for people. That is not a flaw, that is your nervous system holding out for something real. Sign 5. You need significant alone time to feel like yourself again after sustained social engagement. You find you have lost track of yourself. Not dramatically, but something essential has gone slightly blurry. Your own thoughts feel distant, your preferences feel unclear. You have been so occupied managing your social presence that you have lost contact with the person underneath it. Research on solitude and identity confirms what many people experience intuitively. Time alone is not empty time, it is the time during which the self consolidates, during which sensory overload settles, during which your actual feelings and thinking become audible again. The need for significant alone time is not antisocial. It is a sign of a complex interior life that requires maintenance. Sign 6. Certain people consistently leave you feeling worse. Not all social exhaustion is equal. Because it is rarely all people, it is specific people. The person who, after every interaction, leaves you feeling somehow diminished. Vaguely anxious, like you cannot quite be yourself in their presence without something going wrong. Research consistently shows that relationships with a net negative emotional outcome, maintained over time, produce measurable effects on mental health and neurological stress response. When specific people consistently activate your stress response and leave you feeling worse, that is data. Your nervous system has been keeping score, and it is showing you the results. Sign 7. You fantasize about a simpler, quieter life somewhere in the background of your mind. A version of life runs on a loop. Fewer obligations, fewer performances, a smaller circle of people who actually matter. More mornings that belong entirely to you. This is not escapism. Research on the ideal self versus the actual self shows that when the gap between how we are living and how we sense we should be living becomes too large, the mind begins to signal through fantasy. The quiet life fantasy is your mind showing you what it actually needs. Not necessarily moving to the woods, but the underlying values it points to. Simplicity, selectivity, authenticity, space, those are not unreasonable. They are the design specifications of a life that would actually fit. You are not tired of life. You are tired of the version of your social life that has been running on fumes. Tired of relationships that take without returning. Tired of performances that leave you more empty than connected. That tiredness is not weakness, it is information. Your nervous system is communicating clearly and with increasing urgency that something needs to change. Not everything, not everyone, just enough that the life you are living starts to feel like yours again. If this described you, share it with someone who has been blaming themselves for something that was never their fault. Leave a comment below. Which of these 7 signs resonated most with you? I read every single one. Subscribe for new psychology content every week. Until next time, rest is not withdrawal. Sometimes it is the most honest thing you can do.